Hello, this is Apex Predator with Esports, bringing you commentary on this 2020 February match. There was a World Championship on day one. On Beacon Rush, we pitted 1 versus CDxx. And rather than talk on a particular player's move or what that player is looking for, on this match, I'd like to talk big tactics, because this is a perfect example of Beacon Rush and what you can and can't do if you get that center beacon. Here we see the one team goes in with 3 Ravanas and 3 Phantoms. 2 Phantoms are in the center, the other one's off there on the left. So they brought in 3 pretty fast bots. CDxx did not bring in as many fast bots, and they didn't get the 3rd beacon, so they're behind on the beacon count. But they did bring in some slower bots that had some range. And point of note, Dr. Doom, he started off with the Behemoth. He knew he was going to be slow, and he wanted to have range. Sith mech here, he dies on his first bot. I think it's a Phantom. And the second bot he brings out is a Behemoth. So CDxx understands that in a Beacon Rush map, and it took me a while to learn this. It was something I was taught by a guitar guy from Chaos. The beacon bar moves very slow at the beginning of these Beacon Rush matches, and it moves 3 times faster at the end of the match. So really, holding 2 beacons for the first 5 minutes is not an issue. Around the halfway point, you need to make a push and take that 3rd beacon. But in the meantime, a patient team that has bots built for range, and that's what CDxx did here. They got the flanks of that center beacon. They got a Behemoth on that left-hand road there, and it's a Sith that brought that out. Dr. Doom's at the bottom of it, and he's got a Behemoth there. A couple players are in Phantoms that are on this X hanger. They gave you a different build, and the Phantoms had 600-meter range. So CDxx is sitting back and being patient and trying to bot out and pick away at the other opponents. At this point in the match, the kill count is 5-3, even though one has 3 beacons and they're winning the beacon bar. On the kill count, CDxx is ahead, and that's the game plan and tactic that CDxx is wanting to do. We see a Behemoth walking up there. That's Charlie Brown. Another tactical note here, and I'm sure these teams at this level play each other all the time. Charlie Brown's one of the better players out there. 2 Behemoths focused on him the whole game. That's his 3rd bot, and that's why he's out in a Behemoth finally, because the first 2 bots were killed by Behemoths at long range. The rest of the team is not ranking up as many bots lost, because CDxx is picking on one player and trying to bot them out and trying to get an advantage here on both the player kill count and just getting rid of a player. We're at 6 minutes here. Your kills are 7-4. I see Charlie's still alive. He's going to die in a second, and they will bot him out, and they'll get it down to a 5-player to 6-player game. The Nightingales are good for capping beacons and suppressing players, and both teams are using them here. CDxx manages to keep them more towards the end. They manage to use the Behemoths early when they're advantageous to use. And now here in the center, you've seen a Behemoth push. That's Dr. Doom. He had that bot the whole match. He started with it. I know War Machine and the Nightingale were watching his vantage point. This is his first bot. We're at the 6-minute point, and he's been in his first bot the whole time. But here he's going to go down. We had a bunch of CDxx players, as we approach the 5-minute mark, decide that they're going to push that center beacon. War Machine's going to go to his 2nd bot here and pull it out, try to do some damage. And he's done a great job the whole game, but CDxx was playing for a long game here. Here I am at 5 minutes and 30 seconds to the match. Because they pushed, the kill count got a little bit closer, and it's 10 kills to 7. CDxx is still ahead in the kill count. When you play these X-Hanger matches, everyone has the same bot. Esports has set up a pretty good competition. There'll be another set of matches in April, so if any clan wants to join, they can. And it's all skill-based, since everybody has the same bot, same weapons. It's a level playing field. You just get to really see what kind of skill you have. And as you can see, this is one of my favorite matches because it brings the game to another level of tactics. Finally, here we see the center beacon getting flipped. At some point around this time, I also see PhD. He does make a run for their far beacon, I think the B beacon out there. And then CDxx pushes the A beacon. So it's a kind of a back and forth. But from here on out, you'll never see one take that center beacon again. There'll always be down in beacons. They're down in players, 5 players to 6. At this point in the match, in hindsight, I have to wonder, had they just been content with 2 beacons, if the team 1 had sat on their 2 home beacons and just tried to protect them, would 5 players have been enough to last to the end of this game and still be on the beacon bar? There you see that PhD is flipping that beacon on the far. I think it's that B beacon he's going after. But then A, there's a CDxx player that's challenged that one. So it's kind of, they're both using similar tactics here. Emily takes out War Machine. War Machine's on his final bot. Saved that behemoth to the end. I mean, did a great job at the beginning of the game, but now he's kind of outgunned. And like I said, you see CDxx is now pushing the other side. There's a Nightingale coming up the ramp here. A Nightingale versus 2 behemoths. 3 1 players are out there out front. You got a Leech, you got a Ravana, and you got a Phantom that are still fighting. And they're outnumbered down there. Again, you look at the beacon bar at this point, and if they could hold 2 beacons, I think one could have won it. The kill count at 3 minutes is like a 14-9. At 2 minutes and 50, another player bots out from the one side. So from here on out, it's 4 players versus 6. And you can play that long distance game. A lot of the better clans understand how this works, and they're purposefully let a more inexperienced squad on the other side take that 3rd beacon, and they'll sit back and they'll do exactly what we're seeing here. This tactic is why I enjoy this match so much, that allows all of you to see what you can do in this game, and the game's just not who's built the better bot or if there's one player that's really good. I mean, Charlie Brown is a monster. I've run it in the game, but he botted out early on because they focused on him. Here we got the 2-minute mark. We still got 4 players, but in a second, another one's going to bot out on the one side. There you go. And so now we're down to just 3 players left with 1. They're trying to defend 1 beacon. And yeah, it was a good match. It was an excellent, interesting match. There will be another round of these in April. If there is any clan that wants to register for them, now's the time to do so. PhD is the last blue player out there from 1. And he dies, and the final beacon's capped, and we got a 5 cap here with a minute to spare. So waiting to 5 minutes to push for that 3rd beacon was plenty of time left in the game. Here's your kind of final tale of the tape. 30 kills for the red side, and I think 21 kills on the blue side.